So we, again, are in the regional round, the last 16. This is actually a rematch of a match that took place this time last year. Penn State pushed Wisconsin to 5. Tonight, the stakes just as high. The winner moves on to the regional final. Purdue and Oregon are up next here from Madison. It will be Wisconsin serving to start this 3 out of 5 set match. Fulya Gutstiken, the defensive specialist from Istanbul, Turkey, will start us off. Welcome to the field house, everyone. Penn State and Wisconsin are underway. Opening swing of the match is dug by Orgel. That was Hannah that took the attack. Franklin off hands. Weatherington. Gutstiken puts up the set for Smrek. And Smrek is blocked by Trammell. Franklin tried the off-speed. And how about Trammell with 2 blocks on the opening rally?
There's that Penn State block, lighting it up right away. This is what Big Ten volleyball is all about. Long rallies, explosive defensive plays. That all starts up front with the block from Trammell.
Jillian Grimes, a libero, serving for Penn State. Here's Franklin again. Nice dig by Grimes in the back row. And the block. Cameron Hannah just got smreked.
That ball coming down faster than it left Hannah's hands. It almost came back on the other side of the net under Smrek. That's how big she is.
Caroline Crawford serving now in her second season here after transferring from Kansas. Penn State beat Kansas to get to this match with Wisconsin in an epic 5-setter. Weatherington looking for the touch, got it. The up judge, Devani McClarty, seeing a touch.
That's one key that Penn State has to focus on all night long, is swinging high. Wisconsin is the #1 blocking team in the country. Penn State has to adjust some of their attacks.
Maddie Villanova ended that Kansas match with an ace on match point in Lawrence last weekend. Franklin goes cross court, is dug up. And the error by Hannah. Point Wisconsin. Wisconsin led by Kelly Sheffield, who has never failed to take a team to the regional stage of the NCAA tournament. He also took his team to the NCAA title in 2021 in his 11th season running this program. Izzy Ashburn back to serve for the Badgers. One of the best servers in the Big Ten, one of the best all time in Wisconsin history. Hannah, wide on the attack, point Wisconsin.
This is what a big Wisconsin block does. It forces Penn State and all of Wisconsin's opponents to hit shots that they don't want to hit. Penn State is swinging high, hard angles, forcing those balls out of bounds.
Ashburn, one of the 2 setters in the 6-2 system run by Wisconsin. MJ Hamill, the other. Means they always have an attacker on the front row. The dump tried by Pedraza. Franklin hit high hands, but a nice dig in the back by Murzik. Gutstiken with a dig. Hannah, off hands, point Penn State. Penn State, led by Katie Schumacher-Cawley, was an incredible player for Russ Rose at Penn State, and now has transitioned to the elite level as a head coach in her 2nd season. Still very close to Coach Rose, and hello Russ, if you're watching. I know you're proud of your Nittany Lions getting here to the regionals again. Penn State's never missed an NCAA tournament. Off the slide went Robinson, still alive. Ashburn setting Robinson again. Pedraza to Murzik. Orgel with the dig. There's Franklin. Hit it right at Murzik, just skimmed the scoreboard. And those are not boos. It is Carter Booth with the roof.
Booth with the roof because of that height and physicality up front. Booth stands at 6'7". She is not a player you want to have an overpass against.
Big Ten Player of the Year, Sarah Franklin, who was very much in doubt whether she'd be able to play volleyball again after an issue with blood clots in her arms that was discovered over the summer. She had emergency surgery, but obviously it has worked out well for her, and she is back and has made the most of this second chance. And I often wonder Emily, what this Wisconsin team would look like had Sarah not been able to come back.
It would look much different than it does now. You probably have Julia Orgel still at that outside position, but man, not only has Franklin come back, she looks better than she did before all that happened.
Wisconsin on a 4-1 run right now. Robinson terminates.
This is what makes Wisconsin's offense so difficult to defend. In this 6-2 system, they have 3 attackers in the front row at all times, meaning they always have a right side attack. So out of system, Penn State can't guess this ball is going outside because Wisconsin will send it to the right.
Franklin targeting Vilanovic. There's Merzic. Can't get it to go down. Orgel will set Thomas Aylara. Still alive. Good D by Orgel. Pedraza setting Merzic. Franklin with a dig in the back row. Robinson!
Right away, Wisconsin getting Devin Robinson going. Robinson's a player that has the ability to take over a match. Again, this is what makes Wisconsin so tough. It's not just one player that they rely on. If someone's maybe having a down night, they'll send it elsewhere.
7-3 opening set. First set goes to 25, win by 2 in this 3 out of 5 set match. The winner moves on to the regional final, which is the last 8 in the NCAA women's volleyball tournament. And Booth again out of the middle.
Penn State just has no answer right now for Wisconsin's physicality up front.
One of the great atmospheres in sports. And Wisconsin off to a stellar start, 8-3 opening set. Well, Sunday afternoon at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN, the 10th annual Invesco QQQ Basketball Hall of Fame Showcase doubleheader. It'll start with top-ranked South Carolina against number 11 Utah. Then at 5 Eastern, Game 2 features number 17 UConn taking on the Tar Heels of North Carolina. And between games at 4:30 Eastern, we will have the 23rd annual WNBA Draft Lottery presented by State Farm live from our studios in Bristol. Fever, Sparks, Mercury, and Storm all vying for that first overall pick. A good start by Wisconsin here in this first set, Emily. Pedraza with the set to the middle. It is blocked. In the middle is Allie Holland for Penn State, number 20 in blue. Thomas Aylara. Oh, what a save by Merzic. Ashburn. Robinson hit it right at start. And Merzic tools the block for the kill.
Look, Penn State is known for their gritty defense. That's exactly what we've seen so far. Jess Merzic, number 9 in blue, hustling for this one, almost taking out one of our camera guys, but she keeps that foot on the court. That's legal.
Camera guy's affectionately known as Wiggy, but he saved himself over there. Good job, Wiggy.
Look, he knew he was in the line
Still
of fire before
moves.
this game.
Well, that ended a 5-0 run by Wisconsin. Booth starts another one, her 3rd kill.
You can get Carter Booth the ball at any time you have to with the efficiency that she runs with. Nearly 1 out of every 2 balls she's going to put away, and tonight she's already 3 for 3.
Good news for the Nittany Lions. She's rotated out. Thomas Aylara, Robinson, and Crawford up front now for the Badgers. Orgel's serve drifts long, point Penn State. First service error of the match for either team. Julia Orgel from Poland. Last year was an outside hitter for this team. This year has transitioned into the libero role, and Pedraza now back to serve, one of the best setters in the Big Ten. In fact, last year she was the Big Ten setter of the year. It's contagious.
Yeah, sometimes those serves get a little bit contagious when the person in front of you misses. You go back and, man, you think about just putting that ball in bounds.
Tonight, Pedraza and her family hosted Penn State's team for Thanksgiving this year. They were playing Ohio State in the Columbus area, and they got a little taste of Pedraza Thanksgiving. MJ Hamill, one of the 2 setters in to serve, had a double-double against Miami here in their last match. Pedraza puts up the set to Trammell, and Trammell terminates.
Getting the middles involved is one of the #1 keys for this Penn State team. They have to find a way off these good passes to get both Holland and Trammell established as a threat into this game. We saw it against Kansas. They went 18 kills, hit 500. It's a difference maker for the Nittany Lions when they have their middles involved.
Well, that was an epic match that they won against Kansas, 15-13 in the 5th set. Smrek went high above everyone and crushed it.
Lana Smrek's oftentimes going high above everyone. She stands at 6'9". Sim, she touches 11'2". That is higher than most basketball players do, but man, she gets up there. If that set is in the right spot, she's going up and over everyone.
She can grab a coin off the top of a backboard. Guchtikin with the short serve, nice. And a good swing by Cameron Hanna to side out for Penn State. Love that attack.
And tooling Anna Smrek up front, that shows you what you need to know about Cameron Hanna. She is not afraid of any big block up there. She'll test you out.
Hanna came in from Clemson this year. Grimes with the serve. Targets Guchtikin. Smrek. Grimes will put it up behind her to Hanna. Looking for the touch. No touch. Point Wisconsin.
That's a miss that you're actually okay with on Penn State's side. With Anna Smrek up front, Cameron Hanna knows she has to swing as high as possible. That time just missing high hands.
The future Dr. Crawford, Caroline Crawford, with plans to go to med school, biology major. Got a couple of future doctors out on this court from both teams. Hanna stuffed. Smrek and Booth, that is a fortress.
It's massive when you have 6'9" Anna Smrek next to 6'7" Carter Booth. That is never what you want to see if you're going up to take a swing.
Wisconsin, 6 of their 13 points have come off the serve, and there's another. It's Smrek who gets the kill, but Crawford set her up with that excellent serve.
Crawford putting in an absolute bullet. You can't force overpasses against Wisconsin because they'll put it right back at you.
Caroline Crawford, they've doubled up the score on Penn State here in the opening set. Hanna trying to do something about it. Guchtikin chases it down. You have a lot of room to work with here in the field house. Weatherington, one-arm dig. A net violation on Wisconsin. Sarah Franklin barely got into the net, and so the point goes to Penn State. Good call.
Man, but what a play. I mean, that save, diving for that one. Guchtikin, so much hustle getting after. And how about the up from the middle? Caroline Crawford. That's what you want from your littles in the backcourt. Just straight hustle.
Bilanovic serves for the Nittany Lions. Guchtikin with another good serve receive. Franklin attacks and terminates.
Every single ball out of system, Sarah Franklin wants to cut this thumb-down shot inside the blockers. Penn State's block has to move inside on these out-of-system balls to try to take it away just a little bit better.
I know we're showing a lot of kills and the big dynamic plays, but the serve receive for Wisconsin has been excellent here in this first set.
And that allows the offense to run. That gets everyone involved.
Pedraza setting Hanna. Hanna is blocked again. This time it's Devin Robinson.
Look, the blocking numbers that Wisconsin puts up are because of that tough serve. When they knock Penn State out of system, it's real easy as a blocker to just send them outside and get stuff like that.
Robin's dad, Daniel, the head basketball coach at Cleveland State. That would make him proud. Ashburn with the serve. Pedraza going back to Hanna, same result.
Big stuff from Wisconsin. Again, Penn State has to find a way to spread out the offense, spread the love just a little bit more. Get your middle involved off a perfect pass like that.
Ashburn, short serve. Free ball here for Wisconsin. Franklin goes over the block. Pedraza setting Merzic. Nice dig. Robinson set a little behind her, but she still terminates.
Just an easy roll shot that Penn State had a miscommunication on. That ball falling right between the 3 defenders back there. They have to talk about that one.
Wisconsin leading by 10, opening set in Madison. Wisconsin up 10. One of the positions in the sport that I don't think gets enough love are the liberos. The liberos are absolutely critical to the success of a team. They're the players that dart all over the court, Emily.
Well, they're some of the most exciting positions to watch, and if you have a good libero on one side, you notice them right away because of their hustle, because of their determination, and the way that they lead the backcourt. They're the unsung heroes. They make sure the team is in system. They're making sure that back line is in position, and these are 3 things you want to look for. They wear the different colored jersey. They also don't count as a sub, and they're only playing in the back row.
And it's interesting for Wisconsin, Orgel actually is an excellent outside hitter. Very unusual for her to play that libero position, correct?
Yeah, Yulia Orgel played for Wisconsin 2 years on the outside, and then with Temi Thomas-Ailara coming onto this team, they had to put her there as Penn State sends that one out. It was a little bit of shuffling, though, that Kelly Sheffield had to do. Getting a player like Temi Thomas-Ailara coming onto this team, she had to be on the court, and that meant they had to do some shuffling. Orgel was the best passer. She put on the libero jersey.
Also meant they would run the 6-2 for the 2nd straight year. With the 2 setters in the back row, you always have 3 attackers up front. And Ashford and Hamill are the setters, and they've created almost a partnership. So when Hamill's out, she's reading what Penn State is doing. She will tell Hamill a few things when she comes off the court, and she's prepared when she goes in.
And you know what that means? That means both these players are such good teammates. They're not fighting with each other, oh, I should be the starting setter, no, I should. They're working together, and that's what makes this offense work and makes kills as good as that, because they work so well together with all of these hitters. It also helps when you have a player like Carter Booth that's putting balls down 1 out of every 2.
Carter Booth has had 4 attacks, and all 4 have resulted in a kill. We started this match 3 apiece, and since then Wisconsin has run away with it. Opening set, best of 5 set match. Gutsakin with the pancake. Franklin with 2 blockers in her face.
Franklin will do this all night long. Even with those 2 big blockers, she's not afraid to go up and take a massive swing.
Katie Schumacher-Cawley out of timeouts. It's a 7-0 run right now for Wisconsin as they try to run away with this opening set. Off the slide, that was number 20, Allie Holland, and Gutsakin. Glad she's okay. I mean, she basically face planted in the wall right in front of us. This is dangerous.
Yeah, that's what you get out of your littles. You get some major hustle.
Gutsakin had a black eye after the last match they played against Miami, but it wasn't from Miami. It was Carter Booth. She inadvertently took a shot from her teammate. All in a day's work. Now, Penn State just has not gotten in a rhythm serving yet.
They haven't gotten in a rhythm really in any part of their game. They subbed in a new setter, a new right side, hoping to find some kind of spark off the bench. But look, this isn't the Penn State team that we've seen all season long. Don't expect them to go into set 2 and do the exact same thing.
And for all you Penn State fans out there, remember, your team last year lost the first 2 sets to this Wisconsin team and forced a 5th set. So I'm sure there's a lot of fight left in these Nittany Lions. And that attack goes out of bounds by Alexa Markley. Markley, sophomore from Peachtree City, Georgia. Big Ten Player of the Year, Sarah Franklin, hoping to serve it out. Targets Merzick. And middle attack successful by Holland. And a side out by Penn State, much needed point.
Penn State finally able to get those middles going just a little bit. They have to find a way to establish the middle as a threat early on, because they've gone away from it since the beginning of the set.
Holland, a very good defensive middle. She rotates out, serving as Kirshen. And a service error gives Wisconsin set point. Third service error on the Nittany Lions. First set point for the Badgers. Over the block, Trammell with a very cerebral shot.
Such a high IQ play for Taylor Trammell up front. She saw exactly where the defense was, just put it right where they weren't over the block.
And Van Ekeren was brought in to set that rotation. Now Pedraza comes back in, the starting setter, but she did a good job, got an assist right away, and now Pedraza will serve. still set point Wisconsin. Franklin with the serve receive. Thomas Ilara. And the net violation is against Penn State. The opening set goes to Wisconsin. A dominant start to this regional semifinal for the #3 seed overall in the tournament. Wisconsin hits 323, just 2 errors in that set, and they win it 25-11.
Wisconsin took a commanding first set, 25-11, and a lot of that was due to middle blocker Carter Booth. He is 4 for 4, 3 blocks already on the night. She is dominating the front line. Look, she's 6'7", but it's not just that physicality. She's one of the most athletic players in the gym.
Well, Emily, I know you've seen a lot of both of these teams this season. These numbers very uncharacteristic for this Penn State team.
Yeah, Penn State's a team that relies on that offense. They have such an incredible setter with Mac Pedraza, who leads the charge so well, but it's really difficult to do against a massive Wisconsin block. The hitters need to settle in just a little bit better. Yeah, they need to go for high hands, but maybe not as high as they think they do.
Wisconsin has appeared in 2 of the last 4 national championships. They won the title in 2021. This year they're the #3 overall seed, top seed in this region. Anna Smrek with 2 kills in that first set. It'll be Penn State serving. Jess Merzick will start us off in the second set. And a service error right away. That has been a problem for Penn State. They have not had any aces, and that's their 4th service error.
Serve pass in general for Penn State has been lower than what we've seen this entire season. Wisconsin's winning that battle, putting in bullets on the end line. Penn State serve receive can't handle it.
Caroline Crawford, and she errors as well. Back-to-back service errors to start the match, or the set.
And those are the errors that you don't want to see from your team. You're okay with the ones that maybe go a few feet out of bounds, because at least that gives the other side a chance to play it. The ones in the bottom of the tape, that's just a lack of focus.
Just 2 errors off the serve for Wisconsin. Grimes serving now for Penn State. Target scoop sticking. She goes right in front of Franklin to receive it. Pedraza setting Weatherington. Hamill keeps it alive. Franklin. Grimes going back to Weatherington. And Carter Booth again with the roof. And Sarah Franklin's reaction was priceless.
Booth working so well side to side. Franklin set that ball up perfectly. You can tell right away Penn State's trying to get the ball to their right side to avoid that bigger block with Anna Smrek, but it still doesn't work because you've got Sarah Franklin up on the other side.
After the block, Sarah Franklin covered her face in absolute glee. Hamill with the serve. Nice serve. Penn State out of system. Robinson. Grimes tries to chase it down, but Robinson gets credit for the kill. Penn State trying to get to a regional final through Wisconsin for the 2nd straight season. These 2 teams played at the same stage last year. In fact, a lot of people have called this the Big Ten Invitational this weekend because Purdue, a member of the Big Ten, will be in the next match, and they'll play Oregon, who will be in the Big Ten at this time next year. Weatherington gets the kill for the Nittany Lions.
Penn State really working that right side of the court. Now with Weatherington out of the game, look for Allie Holland to go more on those slides, number 20 in blue.
Weatherington's mom, Karen, the head volleyball coach at Charlotte. Her dad also is a senior associate commissioner for the CIAA. Lanovic serving Guchkin again. Guchkin's been perfect on serve receive. And Robinson terminating off the slide on the right side.
Not only is Robinson a right side, but she also acts like a middle at times. That creates such a difficult time for Penn State's block because you have multiple quick attacks happening at the same time. She's not just running a classic 9-set. She'll come around on that slide.
Robinson now leads the Badgers with 5 kills off 9 swings, no errors. It's been a very efficient start for the Badgers. Yerzik goes over the block. Thomas Ilara saves it. Robinson going to the corner. Grimes saved it. Hannah blocked.
Wisconsin's out-of-system blocking has been impeccable tonight. They're doing such a great job setting it up, and there is no seam available for Penn State to hit through. They're having trouble finding a way around it.
Well, one of the best calls Kelly Sheffield ever got in terms of picking up a player is when Carter Booth called him and said she wanted to come here to Wisconsin from Minnesota. Nice attack, and Penn State needed that point.
Cameron Hannah still trying to swing all out. We haven't seen her go off speed. Again, she's an aggressive, greedy player. She wants to test out that block and the edges as much as she can.
Hannah from Lansing, Michigan, but came here from Clemson. She will be back next year. This is a Penn State team with a lot of players back. Ashburn setting Robinson. Perfect.
Devin Robinson lighting it up tonight. She's 6 for 11. They're trying to find her as often as they can because they know matchup-wise, they like her against Penn State's outsides a lot more than their outsides against Penn State's right sides.
3 blocks as well for Robinson up front. Orgel ready to serve. Wisconsin, the only team that's beaten Nebraska this season. They did it on this floor. Over the block went Merzick, and finally she can celebrate a kill.
One of the first times that we've seen Penn State go off speed off of a beautiful set from Matt Pedraza from the other side of the court. Merzick read that play so well.
Penn State needs to get the serve going, Emily. They have yet to win a point off their serve in this match.
Yeah, and that's something you have to do against Wisconsin. You have to serve as tough as possible to get them out of their offensive rhythm.
Holland serving. And it is Crawford out of the middle, continuing the theme of the Wisconsin middles having success.
The pass allows that to happen as well. Wisconsin is passing nails. That was a pretty tough serve from Penn State. Man, that back line handled it. That gets a player like Carolyn Crawford involved in the play.
Remember we were here last year and Crawford had some finger surgery earlier in the year. She actually watched the surgery. That's how tough she is. She, again, wants to be a doctor, and they put her arm to sleep and she watched the procedure.
Insane.
Stark long on that attack, point Wisconsin. Stark's sister will be coming to Penn State next season. She's one of the top high school setters in the country. Hello, Izzy. And we'll be welcoming you to this level of volleyball next year. And Jay Hamill serving for the Badgers. Was it touched? Villanova got out of the way just in time, and it's Penn State's point.
That's what good communication does on the back line. Another reason why the libero is so important. They're constantly talking to the rest of the service team, telling them whether that ball is in or out.
Pedraza back to serve. Her mom, Chris, a Hall of Famer at Minnesota as a volleyball player. Hamill, set to Franklin. That was beautiful.
First back row attack of the night. Franklin hammers this one down. Again, this is what makes this offense so tough. Not only do they have 3 hitters up front, you got Sarah Franklin coming out of the back row with hits like that. Man, it's tough on defense.
Sarah Franklin now with 3 kills, a block, a dig, all over the stat sheet. Pedraza trying to get the offense going. Merzick can't get it to go down. Franklin has to create. Free ball here for Penn State. Merzick to the corner. Schreck. Good block by the Nittany Lions. And then Franklin hits it into the net. One of the few hitting errors. That's only the 3rd hitting error of the match for Wisconsin.
This Wisconsin team has had matches this season where they only have 1, maybe 2 hitting errors. It's crazy the numbers they're putting up. That's what makes them so difficult, is that efficiency. They rarely make errors.
Another free point for the Badgers. This Penn State team again beat Wisconsin on November 11th. It was the highest ranked win they've had since 2017. Schreck was not in that match. And a miscue there. Franklin's had a couple of errors in a row. And Penn State is within 3.
This is where Penn State has to capitalize on some of those errors. Put in a really good serve, knock Wisconsin out of system, then rely on that defense that you've been relying on all season long.
Serving well would be a start. Here's Grimes. Orgel called everybody off. Franklin. Pedraza goes behind her to Weatherington. She tips over the block. Uchtikin with the pancake. Weatherington again, down the line. And a kill for Zoe Weatherington.
Weatherington bringing some thunder on the right side. Absolutely unloading on this ball. She knows Wisconsin's not going to give her many seams, and that one right down the line, she knew she could take a big red.
She had 10 kills in the last match against Wisconsin. That was Penn State's first point off a serve, by the way. Nice dig by Grimes. Here's Hannah. And Hannah long on the attack. Point Wisconsin.
And that out-of-system ball has to be a little bit better. Cameron Hannah's backing up to make this approach inside, but that ball was set about the 10-foot line on the sideline. It's difficult for her to play that ball behind her head and keep it in.
Ashburn, who is the career ace leader for Wisconsin, just put that in play, and Holland gets her off the service line right away.
Off the beautiful pass from Jillian Grimes, doing an incredible job keeping this team in system. She's one of the only players right now who's passing at a pretty high clip for Penn State. They have to find a way to do that more often to keep players like Holland involved.
Ashburn runs over, will set Franklin. Franklin off the block. Nice one-handed dig by Bilanovic. And Booth, I think she actually got that on the way down, Emily.
Looked like Booth was actually standing on the ground and just kept that high hand up. She doesn't even need to jump to get her hand over the net.
Kill number 5. She's yet to commit an error. And the Badgers extend the lead back out to 3. Wisconsin won the opening set, 25-11. Point Badgers.
It's a good decision for Penn State to decide to get Allie Holland going on the right side, on the slide, keep the middle going. Watch for Mac Pedraza to maybe sneak one over on 2.
Katie Schumacher calling. Only the 3rd head coach in Penn State's 48-year history. Pedraza to Merzick. Oh, you gotta love that.
That'll certainly work. Merzick coming out of the back row. Smart decision for Pedraza to spread this offense out. Get Merzick going as the only middle attack they have in that zone. That leaves Merzick one-on-one.
Merzick getting her master's in business administration at Penn State right now. In fact, Penn State had several players in exams this week. Thomas Ilara. TTA
bringing the heat. This is what she does when there's a small seam in the block. She has such great court vision to identify that seam early on and bang it through.
You're a Northwestern alum. That's where she came in from. She the best player ever in Northwestern history?
I got it, hands down. Yeah, I mean, from the minute that she stepped on campus, we knew that she was absolutely special.
Serve just drifts over the net. Merzick. And that goes down. Point to Penn State.
Penn State needs a little bit more of that, a little bit more of just Merzick production, especially on these out-of-system plays. She only has 4 kills on the night so far, hitting below 100, 3 kills on the night so far. They got to get more production.
6 digs as well. Robinson. Nice scrappy play by the Nittany Lions. Ashburn pushes it out to the pin, and Thomas Ilara tools the block.
Thomas Ilara has such a fast arm swing down that if that blocker isn't up and ready at all times to getting those hands over, she's going to get the better of you. Wisconsin taking some momentum now, up 4, trying to close this setup and take a 2-0 lead. We'll see if they can do it.
Well, a reminder, we're just getting started tonight. A full night of volleyball from Madison, Wisconsin out to Stanford. Purdue and Oregon will be here on ESPNU at 9:30 Eastern. Texas and Tennessee will follow us on ESPN2. And then the number 2 seed overall, number 1 seed in that region, Stanford, will face Arizona State at 11:30 Eastern on ESPNU. One of the best days of volleyball all year long. And tonight, Penn State is looking to go back to the regional final for the first time since 2019. Wisconsin, no stranger to that stage in the tournament. They've been in 2 of the last 4 national championship matches. Merzick goes over the block, tried to place it in the corner, and that was a fantastic result in the end.
Fantastic result because of the high IQ that Jess Merzick has. She's able to see the defense on the other side and where that right back defender is. If they're sucked up, she'll push it deep.
Told you she was getting her MBA.
Yeah, she's a smarty.
They're all smart. I can't even pronounce a lot of the majors. A lot of biotechnology. Hamill off the slide, Crawford. There's Merzick. Attacks this time, and she went right at Smrek and picked up the kill.
What a way for Penn State to come out of this timeout. They're transitioning a lot better, getting those balls up for the setter. Merzick's putting them away.
Fans responding. Penn State within 2, second set. Thomas Alara. Back row, Stark comes flying in for the kill.
Angelina Stark getting involved in this offense. Not only is she a DS for them, she also doubles as another back row attack. So when she's back there, they have 4 back row players.
Texas follows us tonight on ESPN2, and Stark's mother, Erica, played for the Longhorns. Her dad actually played volleyball at Ball State. Hamill setting Smrek. I am so glad I am not Jillian Grimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm putting a helmet on and turning the other way and sprinting out of this gym if I have to go up against someone like Anna Smrek when she's up there, especially in a one-on-one situation. Whew.
Oh, bless her heart. Grimes, such a warrior, stood right in there and took it. Pedraza, back to Merzick. Goochtikin keeps it alive. Free ball here for Penn State. Pedraza, Merzick. Franklin, dug by Grimes. Merzick goes over the block. Tough to do over that Wisconsin block. Grimes, that's going to be a nice shot for Wisconsin. And finally, Franklin's able to put it away.
What a play from Franklin, being aggressive on that overpass. The first one, she went up on the jousting one, and then she switched it up just a little bit, knew that she had that open net, and just ripped it cross court.
I don't think she knew the first one was going to be that easy. And was able to put it away on the second attempt. Wisconsin responding to this Penn State challenge. They're up 3 now. Trammell out of the middle, sides out for Penn State, and the Nittany Lions are staying close.
When Pedraza can get those middles going, they're so effective. Penn State has to continue to put Pedraza in the pocket to allow Trammell and Holland to do their thing up front.
Merzick, 3-time first team All Big Ten serving. Hamill to Smrek. Good dig by Merzick. Trammell, dug by Goochtikin. And it is Hannah who wins the joust for Penn State.
A little bit of a flex from Pedraza on that one, too. So pumped for her front line. Great transition play on Penn State's side. Force that overpass. They got it done up front.
A 1-point set. We're tied. And that is the first ace of the match for Penn State. They couldn't have come at a better time.
All of a sudden, Penn State looks like they've settled into this match, both offensively, defensively, from the service line, finally nailing those spots.
All right, they have not led since 2-1 in the first set. And the streak is safe for now as Wisconsin goes up 1.
This is one of Wisconsin's better rotations with Smrek and Booth up front. It's a big front line.
This is what Wisconsin did not have when they played Penn State the last time. Weatherington, nailed Hamill and gets the kill.
Man, when Weatherington is on, it's a game changer for this Penn State team. She brings so much fire. She's that high momentum player. When she gets going, she's tough to stop.
4 kills for Weatherington. We're tied again. Hamill, that's tight. And that is the first swing Booth has had that did not result in a kill.
Beautiful read from Allie Holland up front. She identified the exact shot that Booth wanted to hit and adjusted her arms midair to take it away.
Timeout, Wisconsin. For the first time since 2-1 in the opening set, Penn State has the lead in this match. So this is the turnaround from first set to second set.
Yeah, it's massive, especially on the offensive side. Penn State was hitting negative 0.59 in that first set. More errors than kills than you see. The second set, they've settled in a lot better and have adjusted some of those swings to the big block in front of them. They're not just swinging all out for high hands. They're a little bit more crafty with some of their shots. We're seeing well-placed off speeds, and they're attacking the edges just a little bit better.
So in this timeout, Penn State up 1 here deep in the second set. This gives a chance to remind you that the NCAA Women's Division I Volleyball Championships, the actual championship, semis and championship, will be in Tampa this year. Final match, December 17th at 3 Eastern for the first time ever on ABC. And for more information on all 90 NCAA championships, visit ncaa.com. Well, 2 of the most iconic programs in the sport battling it out tonight for the right to move to the last 8. Penn State has never missed an NCAA tournament. They've won 7 NCAA titles. One of only 3 teams to beat this Wisconsin team, and Wisconsin's the only team in the nation that's beaten Nebraska, the #1 seed in the tournament. Penn State has won 8 of the last 11 points to take this lead. Smrek, long, no touch, point Penn State. Biggest lead of the match for the Nittany Lions.
All of a sudden, it feels like Penn State has the momentum. They're blocking discipline, going up and forcing Wisconsin to hit shots that they don't want to hit.
Nice serve from Grimes. Franklin pulls Wisconsin within 1.
That's the exact shot that Sarah Franklin loves out of system. Anytime it's a little bit outside of the court, she's able to hit that cross-court shot over and over again. Penn State's off-blocker has to be ready for it.
Ashburn, again, one of Wisconsin's all-time best servers. Targets Hannah. Now Hannah will attack. And boy, does she. Point Penn State behind Hannah's attack.
Look, it's been tough for Hannah all night long with a big block in front of her. She's still hitting in the negatives, but what I love is that she's continuing to swing. She's not afraid of it. She's continuing to go high.
Is there an adjustment period when you play Wisconsin with that size?
You gotta test out the block, see how high it is, and then settle in a little bit, which is what Penn State's done so well.
Ashburn off the slide. Robinson pushed it wide, and Penn State up 3 deep in the second set, trying to tie this match. Timeout, Wisconsin. So Penn State up by 3. We talked about Jess Merzick in the open, and she is starting to shine for the Nittany Lions.
Jess Merzick has absolutely turned it on. She's already got 6 kills in this match, doing an incredible job, especially out of system. As an outside attacker, you get a ton of junk out there that you're supposed to clean up. She is a crafty, aggressive attacker that knows when to throw in an off speed and when she can absolutely take a rip.
Merzick came into the program from Michigan, and she was playing hard for Fresno State as one of her former coaches. Of course, the head coach, Lisa Rosen at Fresno State. Merzick from the state of Michigan. Over 1,000 kills in her career, but over 1,000 earlier this season. actually the National Player of the Week one week this season as well. And when they played Wisconsin the last time, Emily, she had 16 kills and 16 digs.
She's an incredible all-around player. That's what makes her so good. It's not just the offensive piece. She's really worked on having that full skill set. Not just being able to put balls down, but in the backcourt, acting like a libero back there, trying to pick balls up, be a really good passer. And another way she's improved her game is really blocking. She does an incredible job getting all the way out and setting it up. She does a few stuffs a game that make her jaw drop.
I think that's one of the reasons this sport is catching fire. Players now, more often than not, playing 6 rotations. They can do everything. Vilanovic serving. Ashford runs that down to set Franklin. And Franklin got the touch. According to the upjudge, Devonnie McClarty, Katie Schumacher-Cawley was contemplating a challenge, but ultimately I think she's deciding against it. And that is a sigh of relief for the Wisconsin faithful.
And Wisconsin, a few string of errors there. They really needed to get that kill to side out.
It'll be Franklin serving. Penn State up 2. We go to 25, win by 2 in this set. Pedraza to Holland. And Holland unable to get that to go down. It is Wisconsin's point, and the Badgers are within 1.
All of a sudden, Penn State's feeling the heat from Wisconsin as they're finding ways to keep the ball in the court. And Penn State, few string of errors, forces Katie Schumacher-Cawley to call that timeout.
The Penn State lead has been reduced to 1. And after this match, 30 minutes following the completion on ESPNU, we will have Purdue and Oregon. It's interesting because Purdue is one of the other teams that has a win over Wisconsin. There's only 3 in the country that have beaten the Badgers this year, but 2 of them are here in this region. However, they will face the very talented Oregon Ducks out of the Pac-12. And Emily, what I love about that Purdue-Oregon match, you've got a youthful Purdue team against a very experienced Oregon team.
Oh, look, Oregon's full of 5th years and 6th years. Really the only player on the court that isn't that is Mimi Collier, who's a sophomore, but she feels like she's been there forever. Last year's ABCA National Freshman of the Year, a group of experienced leaders, veterans, going up against just a gritty, aggressive, competitive Purdue squad that's got 2 of the most fun outsides to watch in the country, Eva Hudson and Chloe Chacoin.
Again, that'll be coming up later tonight on ESPNU. Texas and Tennessee will follow us on ESPN2 as we continue this festival of volleyball. We're down to the final 16 in the NCAA Women's Volleyball Tournament. Saturday all day long on ESPNU will be having the regional finals, and then we will send 4 teams to Tampa for the national semifinals.
Sam, I know that Christmas is coming up, but today really feels like Christmas Day. When you got 12 to 14 hours of volleyball on TV the entire time, come on, nothing's better.
I mean, we got Batman out of the Batcave. How good is that? Thank you, Batman.
A little late to Halloween.
Yeah, I haven't seen Santa. I guess he's busy. Franklin with the serve. Hannah terminates. That's what you love to see if you're Penn State. Side out right away.
Right away out of that timeout for one of your players that you know in the big moments wants the ball.
Ashford sets Robinson. And Robinson gets the kill to keep Wisconsin close, 23-22.
All of a sudden, that'll send Yulia Orgel back to the service line. She's been one of Wisconsin's best servers this season. What Penn State needs to do is lock in.
7 kills for Robinson. Orgel behind the service line, also an excellent server. Target start. Merzick. Dug by Franklin. Thomas Ilara. And they call it down. Penn State is saying they got it up. No challenge. It's Wisconsin's point, and we're tied at 23. Winner of this point will have set point. Pedraza. Holland. Robinson. Still alive. Not anymore. Penn State takes a timeout after that Robinson kill.
Man, the hustle from Penn State to get this ball up at Robinson. She is locked in. She's who you want to have the ball in her hands when that game is on the line, when that set's on the line, when your team is down. Robinson wants that kill.
8 kills for Robinson on 16 swings, only 1 error. And Wisconsin has battled back, winning the last 3 points to have a set point when we break up this timeout.
Wisconsin coming from behind, down 22-19 earlier in the set. They found a way to get ahead after a string of Penn State errors, and then a potential missed call, a pancake they might have thought was up. You know, you wonder why Katie Schumacher-Cauley didn't challenge it, because that gave Wisconsin momentum. It's tough playing in this crowd. When you got the team and the crowd on behind your back, it does wonders for the players in the court.
It is one of the best atmospheres in sports. If you're a college basketball fan, I would compare it to Cameron Indoor at Duke. A little bit politer here in Wisconsin, I would say.
Hey man, they got some good fans. When I was outside earlier, I had an elderly person tell me they're going to run over me if I didn't run fast enough.
Well, for me, the most fun part about being here is during the timeouts.
Yeah.
This place is rocking. Got in on the awkward dance cam a little while ago. That was great. So again, it is set point Wisconsin. Wisconsin won the opening set 25-11, and it's been a battle here in the second. Orgel to serve. Pedraza setting Merzik. No surprise. Merzik sides out to tie the score. It's win by 2 from here on out.
Late in the sets, look for both sides to go to their go-to attackers. For Penn State, that's Jess Merzik. Look for them to get the ball in her hands at all times.
Holland, the middle from Ohio, has 23 aces this year serving. Ashford sets Thomas Ilara. Set point number 2 for Wisconsin. Merzik. And Merzik again single-handedly saves a set point. We're tied one more time.
Mac Pedraza loves that matchup with Jess Merzik on the outside. This game is tight. They want her to have the ball. She's going to find a way to score.
Franklin took the serve. Thomas Ilara into the net, and Penn State has set point now.
A big serve from Penn State, knocking Wisconsin out of system. Expect for Wisconsin to come right back at it and dig in and serve receive.
Ashburn with the set. Thomas Ilara again over the block. And it works. We're tied.
Man, this is exactly what you want to see in a regional semifinal. We want extra points. We want to go all the way up to 40. Both sides digging in, doing everything they can to find a way to have the ball hit the floor.
Pedraza settles under it, sets Merzik. Merzik, that went down. Thomas Ilara could not get under it, and a second set point for the Nittany Lions.
Important to note, Thomas Ilara, not normally a player that plays in the backcourt. Look for Penn State to try to find her.
Merzik has had 8 kills this set. Ashburn sets Franklin.
Back Back on the seesaw we go, Sam. A back-and-forth battle of heavyweights. It is a slugfest up front.
Both teams have had 2 chances to claim this opening set. Crawford back to serve at another tie score. Hannah goes over the block. Nice fake. Franklin calls everybody off, bumps it over. Pedraza sets Trammell, and Trammell out of the middle.
Beautiful set gets Trammell going, and this is a Wisconsin team right now that has 2 players in the backcourt that aren't normally there, and 1 player in the front court that isn't normally there.
Set point number 3 for the Nittany Lions to try to tie this match. Franklin. Pedraza pushes it back into the middle of the court. Weatherington. Orgel will set Franklin. Nittany Lions keep it alive. Here's Hannah. Nice dig by Robinson. Franklin tips.
The miscommunication on Penn State's side, a decision of who's going to take that ball. In these big moments, you can't have that. Someone's got to step up and call it off.
A 3rd set point evaporates for Penn State. We're tied at 28. Overtime here in the 2nd set. Weatherington. And Weatherington hits hands. Set point number 4 for Penn State.
With Pedraza up front, they're changing this offense just a little bit, getting other people going with Merzick in the backcourt.
Villanova had 3 aces in their last match against Kansas. Franklin. Merzick keeps it alive. Hannah's got to send it over, and boy, does she. Penn State battles from behind, and we are tied in Madison. So Penn State battles back and wins the 2nd set 30-28. Keep in mind, they lost the 1st set 25-11. Robinson, Franklin, Booth, Thomas Ilara getting the majority of the kills for Wisconsin. So if you're Wisconsin and you dominate that 1st set like the Badgers did, what needs to happen here in the 3rd set?
Wisconsin needs to play a little bit cleaner offensively. We saw some uncharacteristic errors from what we saw during set 1. Hitters hitting the ball out of bounds, maybe some miscues. Wisconsin just has to go right back to their game and keep the ball in play.
So we are tied at a set apiece. Kelly Sheffield's Badgers, the number 3 seed overall in the tournament, top seed in this region, taking on the number 5 seed Penn State. Purdue and Oregon come up after us tonight on ESPNU. And the winners move on to the regional finals Saturday. So Gulye Gutstikin, who was the tour guide this summer for the team's visit to Turkey, that's where they started their European trip over the summer. Got to see her family. She had only been home once since she got here, and now she's starting off the 3rd set with this lefty serve. Good serve by Gutstikin. Weatherington, what a creative play to keep that ball alive. Here's Franklin. Pedraza. Both teams trying to settle in this opening rally. Hannah, nice dig by Gutstikin. Franklin. Fans wanted a double contact, didn't get the call. Here's Franklin. Roll shot, count it.
Franklin getting a little bit crafty to start things off. We saw her rip that ball across court. Penn State's not defending her well when they're out of system. When Sarah Franklin's taking a swing, they got to settle in a little bit better.
Franklin had 6 kills in that 2nd set. Pedraza settles under it, sets Weatherington, and Weatherington wide on the attack, but Weatherington was critical in that 2nd set comeback.
Weatherington really turned it on during set, so she found her offensive rhythm just a little bit better, tested the edges of the block better, and we saw her have some strong grips right down the line.
Gutstikin, Coach Sheffield said her last match against Miami was the best of her career. And she just has a massive dig as Weatherington unloaded. Crawford. Oh, it's out. Point is going to be awarded to Penn State. And the Badgers are saying that it was touched by a Penn State player off the block. And they're having a little conference with Coach Sheffield to see if he's going to challenge. And he is going to challenge. Well, that was fun. Coach Sheffield, he listened to the case. He was like a judge or an attorney, and then he turned to the official and said, I'll challenge.
I think what he saw was Sarah Franklin pointing at Zoe Weatherington, who Weatherington said, yeah, I did touch it, but it was my hair.
Yeah.
So Franklin thought that she said she touched it, which, you know, why would you admit that if you're up front? We'll see what they end up with.
And it's refreshing because as intense as this battle is, both these teams had some fun with this. So here's the attack by Weatherington. Crawford gets the block. Watch the ball come off the block. Does it hit Weatherington? She admitted it touched her hair. But let's see if the officials rule that it touched any part of her body. The hair's okay.
Tough to tell from this angle.
It was fun to watch the back and forth between the two teams over that call. So does the block come back and hit Weatherington before it goes out? The Badgers and the fans were celebrating a Wisconsin point, but the official on first look did not see the ball hit Weatherington, and so the point was awarded to Penn State. What do you see?
It's tough to tell, even if the ball hit Caroline Crawford as well before it went over. It might have just been the tape, which is something they can look at in this play as well. Initially ruling that it was a touch, as it would be a block. They say it went out of bounds. It's tough to tell from that angle if it came down on Weatherington.
By the way, this is one of the best officiating crews in the sport. So I know they're going to get it right. But this is one of those where they have a few looks that we don't have, and they're in the process of determining whether this touched Weatherington. Weatherington, the Penn State player in the blue jersey on the right, number 17.
From this angle where Weatherington's between the ball and the camera, it's difficult to tell, even if it did touch her hair.
It's the first challenge of the match, by the way. You get 2 per match. And if Kelly Sheffield is successful in this challenge, he will not lose one. And they are ruling it did touch Weatherington. So Wisconsin does not lose a challenge. Penn State does lose the point. Weatherington still arguing that the ball touched her hair. But the officials saw something else. And I'm sure she was sure of that. So it is Wisconsin's point. And Wisconsin out in front here in the third set. Match tied at a set apiece. And the Nittany Lions disrupted a little bit.
Right out of the gates, Penn State, a miscommunication between setter and hitter, not knowing what route they're supposed to run.
How about the service run by Gustafson?
She's one of the toughest servers. That lefty, it comes off just a little bit different.
Another miscommunication on the serve. Receive ball still alive, however. Orgel puts it up. Hamill set to Crawford. Doug. Weatherington. That's how you do it. Weatherington taking the frustration out on the ball and getting the kill.
Beautiful swing from Weatherington, identifying the blockers way too far outside toward the pin. That means she has so much cross court to work with and go inside.
Gotta love that response from Zoe Weatherington. First point of the set for Penn State. Smrek. And Smrek misses wide.
Smrek just trying to do a little bit too much up front. We've seen her try to use the blocker's hands or sneak one down the line. What she needs to do is just go up and take a high confident swing over the block.
Smrek had an excellent start to this match. Has been pretty quiet since, until now. Puts a hole in the floor.
You gotta love that decision for MJ Hamel to go back to the attacker that just made the error. Give them a little bit of a confidence boost going right back to them to say that you trust them to still get that kill.
The other setter, Izzy Ashburn, said Hamel's strength is she's so observant of what's happening out on the court, has the feel for that. Hamel going out to Franklin this time, and Weatherington gets the block and wags the finger. Love it.
Not only can Weatherington thunder a ball down, but man, on the defensive side, she's averaging a block a set. She's an incredible blocker and a force up front, going up against some of the best outsides in the country.
You gotta love the competitiveness of Zoe Weatherington as she rotates out. Penn State back to within 2. Smrek. It's kept alive by Grimes. Hannah goes over the block. Franklin, plenty of time. Blocked by Holland. Franklin again.
And Anna Smrek can put in a good set too, going right outside, looking so confident using her hands, putting Franklin in a good position to go right through the seam.
That was a heck of a pass. 10 kills now for Franklin. Ashburn serving. And Ashburn missed. But you know one thing about Izzy Ashburn, number 11 for Wisconsin, in high school, Emily, she served an entire 25-0 set, including 8 aces.
Look, it's hard to do that even in practice when you don't have anyone on the other side and there's no pressure just to put 25 balls in play.
Orgel with the serve receive. Ashburn setting it quick to Booth. Pedraza tried to take it over. And second swing in that rally, Booth terminates.
Carter Booth does such a fantastic job staying in some of these plays. She might not get that first swing, but she's ready, up, and available to unload on that second swing.
Kill number 6 for Booth. Booth also got 5 blocks, an assist, and a dig. Franklin serving. Stark with the receive. Here's Merzick. Merzick tools the block point, Penn State.
Really smart swing from Jess Merzick, swinging high and hard, getting that touch off the block. And that middle back for Wisconsin, if there's a touch, you have to stay deep and chase it down.
The volleyball is like every other sport, it's all about matchups. And this Penn State team has been a tough matchup for Wisconsin this season and last. Service error, point Wisconsin.
If you talk about matchups too, I'm not sure there's a team in the country that matches up well against Wisconsin. Just in terms of, if you look at the front line, and they tower over pretty much every team. But the thing to beat physicality with is speed, and maybe we'll see that later down the line if Oregon gets the win later, one of the fastest offenses in the country.
Yeah, reminder, Oregon and Purdue coming up here from Madison on ESPNU. That is 9:30 Eastern. Following us on ESPN2, Texas and Tennessee. Some of the Ducks that have made the long journey from Oregon. Next year they'll be official members of the Big Ten, so they're just getting a taste of the Big Ten this weekend. They're also hoping to get out of here and head to Tampa. Pedraza serving. Nice save by Ashburn. Crawford on the attack. Merzick blocked. Stark. Good dig by Robinson. Thomas Ailara was blocked and then kept it alive. She'll attack again. Trammell with a block. Point Penn State. Double contact on Wisconsin.
Yeah, it looked like on that cover ball, the ball just sat near Orgel's lap a little bit longer than it should have.
Penn State within 1. Ashburn, Robinson, and Robinson with the kill off the right side.
Big swing from Robinson, getting back to what we saw her do during set 1. Swinging high, going hard, up at that against a really big Penn State block in front of her.
Robinson getting close to double digits. That's her 9th kill. Franklin already has 10. Merzick has 10 for Penn State. Trammell. Merzick. Just long.
And that's an error that you're okay with. Just missing the end line by about 2 or 3 inches is a beautifully placed shot. If that ball lands, it's probably a point.
Merzick's third hitting error. 31 swings, 10 kills. Hamill serving. Pushes it back to Merzick. Smrek with the dig. Franklin, dug by Pedraza. And Merzick hits into Crawford. Weatherington blocked.
Out of system, this is where the Badgers thrive. They know exactly where to set that block up, and those middles get all the way out, staying involved in it.
Caroline Crawford, Anna Smrek combining on that block. The Badgers up 4 here in this pivotal third set, match tied at a set apiece. Weatherington hit into the net. Point Badgers.
That's a play that Penn State's going to want back. Kind of a miscommunication. That's not the best play to run in that situation that forces the Penn State timeout.
The field house is rocking tonight. We got quite a battle for a spot in the Final 8 of the NCAA tournament. I'm telling you right now, this is what you need to be doing Sunday afternoon at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN. It's the 10th annual InvestQ QQQ Basketball Hall of Fame Women's Showcase doubleheader. Top-ranked South Carolina will take on number 11 Utah. Then at 5 Eastern, Game 2 will feature the Huskies of UConn taking on the Tar Heels of North Carolina. It's all on ESPN. And then in between those games, we will have the 23rd annual WNBA Draft Lottery presented by State Farm. That'll take place live from our studios in Bristol. We are live from Madison, Wisconsin, by the way. One of the great venues in college sports. This volleyball-only facility is rocking right now. Thomas Ilara. Oh, what a save by Merzick. Thomas Ilara again attacks. This time she gets the kill.
Transition, this is where your team needs to have success. Not only getting the ball up, but a good second contact to allow those hitters to go up and rip one.
A 5-0 run by Wisconsin right now to take this 13-7 lead. I mean, how many times does a team think they have a kill in this match and they don't?
I mean, the defense has been outstanding. Yeah. Everyone in the backcourt. It's not just the liberos.
So fun. And one more match to come tonight, Purdue and Oregon. Merzick. They got right at Hamill. She laughed as she got that dig. Here's Thomas Ilara. Pedraza, back set to Weatherington, blocked by Crawford.
Wisconsin block doing their thing. Cece Crawford read this so well, getting all the way out, turning those hands back into the court to put that ball in.
Hamill, a biomedical engineering major with the short serve. Crawford is a wall right now. So Wisconsin prompting Penn State to take a timeout after that Crawford block. They're up 15-7 right now.
Wisconsin finding ways to come out on the other side of it. This is what we saw from Wisconsin in set 1. That stifling block going to work, reading Penn State's offense so well, and that serve is making it predictable.
Well, Sarah Franklin not getting the blocks, but she is getting the kills for this Badger team.
Already 10 kills just in this match alone. Franklin's doing such a fantastic job mixing up her shots well. She sees the other side's defense and can place this ball exactly where they're not. If there's a seam, she's ripping right through it. If there is a big block, she's going high hands, pushing them to the corner, or using that really smart shot in a donut right in the middle of the court.
It's been so consistent in this match. Again, remember that second set was 58 points long. And our esteemed statistician Dan Ferran pointing out that Wisconsin is on a 7-0 run right now. That matches their largest run. I don't know how they ever lose in this building, Emily.
I mean, it is one of the loudest environments in all of college volleyball. Even during timeouts, the fans are on their feet, they're singing the whole time, but it helps when you have players that are playing like Wisconsin is right now. And those blocks, that's what gets this crowd going the most, when you have Crawford just stuffing them left and right.
Wisconsin is 15-0 in this building this season, and that's one of the reasons I admire this Penn State team so much, the way they manage this crowd and were able to battle back and win that second set.
For all the Big Ten teams that are here, they're used to playing in these really loud arenas. Every single arena in the Big Ten is like this. They've been doing it all season long.
Yeah, Purdue will be in here next. They have Holloway. Ace by Hamill.
An 8-0 scoring run all starts from the end line, forcing Penn State out of system, getting the aces, putting them in situations that they don't want to be in.
Best run of the match for Wisconsin, 8 straight points. Weatherington will have to send it over. Hamill setting Thomas Ilara.
Penn State just doesn't have an answer right now. In this side-out situation, it's normally a good passing rotation for them, but they're having difficulty getting out of it.
Really, this is reminiscent of the first set.
Very reminiscent of the first set when we saw Wisconsin just right away put the pedal on the metal and get after it.
9 straight points for the Badgers. Merzick trying to side out for the Nittany Lions. Smrek. The tallest player in Wisconsin history at 6'9". Anna Smrek, whose dad Michael is an NBA star, won 2 NBA championships with the Lakers with another kill.
We talk about Anna Smrek's height so much, standing at 6'9", yeah, she's big, but what we don't talk about is how athletic she is and those plays that she makes. It's one thing to be tall, but it's another thing to be as good at the sport and as athletic as she is.
Yeah, well said, I agree. 10 straight points for the Badgers. Penn State needs a side out. They're not going to get it.
For Penn State, this is where it becomes so important to have leaders on the court, because you might run out of timeouts. Penn State is in a position where they don't feel like they can take another one, and you have to have leaders on the court right now that bring everyone together. Katie Schumacher probably can't call another one, so someone like Matt Pedraza has to step up.
Penn State's used both their timeouts in this set. What a service run right now for MJ Hamill. Hamill will float serve. Trammell receives it. Merzick. Orgel. What a save. Thomas Ilara is blocked by Merzick, but it goes out of bounds.
That ball barely out of bounds, but man, that out from Julia Orgel to read that play, pick up the tip, so difficult when she's so far back to pick it up.
Well, initially they wanted Coach to challenge it, then Pedraza came over and said, don't challenge, Coach. 20-7, Wisconsin running away with his third set. Weatherington with the much-needed side out after Penn State had lost 12 points in a row.
Big for Penn State to get out of that rotation. Weatherington, not even the best set for her, but she found a way to manage it and get a kill.
That's been a long time since Penn State has served. It's Merzick back there now. Franklin received. Thomas Ilara off the block.
Thomas Ilara finding her rhythm in this match, swinging high, going for hands really well to tool it off.
She celebrates over on the sideline. Guchtikin back to serve now. Guchtikin had a nice service run earlier in the set. Pedraza backs up to Weatherington. Oh, that was a perfectly placed ball. She couldn't have walked it over there any better.
And that's exactly what you get from a player with such a high volleyball IQ that can see the defense so well. She's a coach's kid, so she grew up playing the game, studying the game, and it pays dividends now that she's playing at the highest level for Penn State.
Sarah Franklin doing some house cleaning out there, wiping up some sweat off the floor. It's steamy here in the field house in the middle of Wisconsin.
Beautiful day outside. It's sunny.
Hamill setting Franklin. Dug by Pedraza. Hannah tried to go through the block. There's Franklin. Good dig by Merzer. Weatherington off hands. I've become a big Zoe Weatherington fan. I just like her swag.
She's
I like
so
the way she
fun.
plays.
Yeah, she just presents herself in such a fun way. She loves to have fun up there. She knows when to turn it on, and she's as competitive as they come.
Service error. Point Wisconsin.
Playing a little dodgeball in that back row is what you want. Someone telling you it's out, all right, just duck under it.
8 service errors for Penn State in this match. Crawford serving almost a foot fault. Official was right on top of it. Franklin tips. And that ball never made it close to Carter Booth's hands, but they were there just in case. Well, Crawford knew it was going to be a good season, Emily. When she went to Europe, she got off the plane, took a couple of steps, and got pooped on. So if you know your bird superstitions, getting pooped on by a bird is good luck. And it's been a very good season for Crawford. I'm sure that's what she would credit her play to this year.
100%, and that bird strategically placed by Kelly Sheffield. She said, I know what's going to get Caroline Crawford going.
Hey, she told the story, not me. You got to go with what works, right?
Yeah.
Athletes find all kinds of things to get themselves motivated. Wisconsin looking for a set point. Smret blocked. Don't say that very often. And Hannah turns around and says, let's go.
Look, no matter how far Penn State is down, they will continue to fight. They're going to continue to take big swings. Hannah is not afraid of a big block in front of her.
There's no quit in this Penn State team. We saw that in the second set. Service errors have become a problem for Penn State in this match, and that one has resulted in a set point for Wisconsin. That was the 9th of the match. Brunovic with the receive. Grimes sends it out to Hannah. Wisconsin runs away with the third set.
Wisconsin getting it done on both sides of the ball. They put up 11 blocks already tonight, leading the way, figuring out a way to win up 2-1 on Penn State. Well, Wisconsin finding a way to get it done, and it's a lot due to their height. You see the net height at 7 foot, but man, look at these players. This is what you're facing. This is what Penn State's seeing tonight at any given time. 3 of these players up front at all times. It's almost unfair how tall some of these players are.
Well, Annette, by the way, a little over 7 feet 4 inches tall, and you could compare this Badger team to some NBA superstars. Imagine Anna Smret matching up against LeBron James, but I love this comparison to show that this volleyball team is as big as a lot of NBA superstars.
Look, they could give some NBA teams a run for their money up there. Hey, I mean, I know I'm not the only one that wants to see Anna Smret go one-on-one with LeBron.
You think Smret could roof LeBron?
Oh, easy.
I want to see Curry go up against Robinson. That'd be a good
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
With competitive fire, too.
Oh, we dream.
Get the D-Rob flex going.
So remember, last year these two teams combined for a 5-setter. Wisconsin won that one to advance to the last 8. Right now, Wisconsin is in the driver's seat to avoid a 5th set. This is a must-win set for Penn State. as Wisconsin is up 2-1. We welcome you inside the Fieldhouse and go along with Emily Eamon in a match that has lived up to the hype. Two of the most prominent programs in the history of the sport. And we're underway in the fourth. Anna Smrek. Maybe she heard us talking about she and LeBron got fired up.
They got a little fired up there. You see this mindset from her. You can see it in her eyes. She's as competitive as they come. She wants the ball in these big moments. We saw it in that 2021 National Championship where she was the MVP and took over.
That was Wisconsin's 1-0 the NCAA title. Sarah Franklin with the block and picking up the point for the Badgers.
The 2021 might have been their only NCAA title, but this is the team to beat right now. When they're at max strength, I'm not sure there's a team in the country that can compete with them just with that physicality and domination.
And their 11th straight regional. Only Texas and Nebraska have been to 11 straight. Grimes with the dig. Merzik hit right at Smrek. Good D by the Lions. Franklin. Hit hands. Grimes got to send this to the net. Merzik will send it over. And Franklin terminates.
Franklin going sharper and sharper with that out-of-system cross-court shot. Penn State has not made that adjustment all night long to bring the block inside. This is Franklin's bread and butter. Every time she's cutting it inside, move that block in.
It'll be a nice-looking shot on the beach.
Yeah.
Merzik with the serve receive. Pedraza with the quick set, and Trammell obliges with the quick finish.
That connection looking a lot better between Mac Pedraza and Taylor Trammell. The first one just a point ago, a little bit too high. They talked about that connection and got it unlocked.
Trammell had 9 kills and 3 blocks in the last match against Wisconsin. Tonight, 8. That's 5 kills, excuse me. Merzik attacking. Got the touch. Point Nittany Lions.
Beautiful veteran swing from Jess Merzik. Seeing that 6'9" and 6'7" block in front of her, just basically swinging straight at the ceiling to catch hands.
Merzik now with 11 kills, 14 digs. She and MJ Hamill both have double-doubles on each side of the net. Smrek had plenty of time. Pedraza to Holland. Smrek saves it. And Gutsticken tries to kick it over. It would have counted, but she kicked it into the stands. I think in volleyball, Emily, if you catch a volleyball, you should be able to keep it.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Come on. You got enough of them.
They had to throw it back.
You're playing a little footy action out here. That's pretty good, huh?
I'm sure she's played a lot of soccer coming from Turkey, except she calls it football. Hamill puts it up to Franklin, and Franklin overpowers the Penn State block.
Franklin ripping that cross-court shot time and time again. It's getting sharper and sharper. Penn State has to find a way to make an adjustment and not let her hit that shot one more time.
Already 2 kills this set for Sarah Franklin, and Ashburn back to serve. Serves it at Merzik. Good save by Pedraza. And Merzik thanks Pedraza for that set.
Such a beautiful set coming out of Mac Pedraza's hands. That's a connection that they've been working on since they stepped on campus. Both transfers, they were new to this program this season. They knew they were going to be integral pieces for Penn State, so they had to work on it more and more.
By the way, Pedraza, the setter's an inch taller than Merzik, 6'2" to 6'1".
She's a big physical setter.
Ashburn, oh, Booth! We may need a little court repair after that one.
That was going straight through the bottom of the floor with how hard Booth nails that one. This is what a perfect pass gets you. Booth one-on-one, she's winning that matchup every time.
They are putting down the Terraflex for next season here at Wisconsin. That just about put a hole in this one. Franklin serves. Milanovic with the receive. Holland goes over the block. Robinson. Grimes setting Merzik. Merzik hitting away from that block, ball still live. Thomas Ilara block. Orgel with a fantastic dig, but finally, the Nittany Lions win the rally.
Good heads-up play from Penn State. Allie Holland locked into that game. She knew if that ball was coming over, she had to quickly explode and go up.
A must-win set for Penn State. The set, again, will go to 25, win by 2. The first 4 sets in volleyball do. If we get to a 5th set, that will go to 15, win by 2. Winner of this match moves on to the regional final, which is the equivalent of basketball's Elite 8. Winner will play the winner of Purdue and Oregon, which comes up later tonight on ESPNU. Booth. Booth is getting hot.
Booth's ability to take over a match is reminiscent of 5-time first-team All-American Dana Recchi. Her ability to take over on both sides of the ball, not just offensively, defensively, makes a massive impact.
And you know that NBA graphic we showed earlier? Well, Carter Booth's dad, Calvin, he's the GM of the Denver Nuggets. I already mentioned Anna Smrek's dad, Michael, won 2 world championships with the Lakers. There's a lot of NBA tie-ins in this match, father-daughter-wise. Oh, nice swing. Calvin Booth, Carter's dad, current GM of the Denver Nuggets. So I'm sure he likes the picture on the left a little bit better. The dunk when he played at Penn State, and then he played 10 seasons in the NBA, won a world championship as well. And he's very close to his daughter, Carter, 6'7", who transferred in from Minnesota. Caroline Crawford, she's done a little bit of everything tonight.
Izzy Ashburn and MJ Hamel getting those middles going, making it a point to establish them as a threat. What that does is it holds Penn State's blockers just a little bit longer. Then when Wisconsin goes to their pins, it opens up seams for them.
I hope young players are not going to go outside and try to get pooped on by birds.
I might.
Based on what I said about Crawford earlier. But it's working for her this season. That was quite a European trip. By the way, it ended with a concert by Bruce Springsteen in Italy, I believe. Timmy Thomas-Ailara unleashing.
Thomas-Ailara having herself tonight 11 kills, hitting well over 400. Look, this is her first NCAA tournament. She's a 5th year coming from a program that never qualified. Kelly Sheffield said she was like a kid in a candy shop. She was so excited for the first round.
Yeah, you mentioned this day feeling like Christmas. He actually said that the selection show was like Christmas for her because it was the first time she had been on a team that had been selected for the tournament. Then we talked about she's probably Northwestern's all-time greatest player, and now really lifting up this Badger program. Here she is. Fans wanted a double hit, they didn't get it. Smrek, long on the attack, and that Penn State tenacity is infuriating these Wisconsin fans.
Like, the crowd might not be happy with it, but Penn State did exactly what they needed to do, and that's play through the whistle. Sometimes you might think, maybe that was an ugly set. You might have thought it was a double, maybe a catch ball. You just got to play through the whistle until you hear it.
Pedraza back to serve. Penn State within 1 in a must-win set. They're down 2-1. Hamel, Thomas-Ailara, Trammell, kept it alive. Weatherington, cross-court attack is wide.
Weatherington trying to do just a little bit too much on that ball. Off balance, you just want to keep that ball in, maybe right to the middle of the court.
Well, those are not boos you're hearing. Gutstekin is back to serve. She is such a crowd favorite from Turkey. And an ace!
A sneaky serve. That lefty coming right down the line, targeting Cameron Hanna. That is Wisconsin's serve target. They want to go to her as often as she's in that serve receive.
Julia Orgel said Gutstekin is the definition of positivity. Loves having her out on the court. Keeps everybody positive. Crawford with the stuff.
Crawford having herself a night as this match has gone on, doing such a fantastic job, not just getting her hands over, but finishing that push.
Well, the roof by Crawford will send us into the timeout. Wisconsin getting some big-time blocking from Caroline Crawford to take the lead and try to win this match. Well, the Invesco QQQ Basketball Hall of Fame Showcase comes your way Sunday afternoon, 2:30 Eastern. The top-ranked Gamecocks of South Carolina will take on Utah, and then the Tar Heels will meet UConn at 5 Eastern. In between those games, we will have the WNBA Draft Lottery presented by State Farm. That will be approximately 4:30 Eastern on ESPN. Big day on Sunday and a big match for Caroline Crawford.
She's been doing fantastic tonight. It's not just her offense. Defensively, she's put up 6 blocks already so far tonight. She is a stifling wall for Penn State to hit around.
It would have been interesting had Kansas beaten Penn State, because she would have faced her old team. Ray Bouchard's Kansas Jayhawks had an outstanding year, and she's just picking up where she left off.
This entire team feeds off of momentum so easily. It feels like when they get one block, there's a string of them that follow because they just get a little bit extra going up there.
Crawford, Franklin, Smrek on the front row right now for Wisconsin. Pedraza pushes it out to Hannah, long on the attack, point Badgers.
This is what a well-disciplined block does. It forces Penn State and their opponents to hit balls that they don't want to hit. Cameron Hannah going a little bit higher on that one to miss the block, but it was disciplined and they went straight over.
Pedraza, Merzik out of the back row, Kushkin with a dig. There's Franklin, tight to the net, found the corner.
The most beautiful shot that you can have as an outside hitter, that back quarter is your best friend. If you can continually hit that time and time again, it is so difficult to stop because you're almost always splitting that left and middle back defender.
Sarah Franklin with 14 kills, 3 digs, 4 blocks. And Wisconsin has won 6 straight points. Wisconsin trying to win this match in 4, and they build the lead 15-7. Kelly Sheffield's face never really changes unless he's laughing at something one of his players is saying. I love it.
Calm down, Kelly. Don't get too excited out there.
Kelly Sheffield, Dave Shondell, Craig Skinner, the head coach at Kentucky, all from Muncie, Indiana, part of the Ball State pipeline. He doesn't need to change his expression.
Look, he knows what this team is capable of. They've been doing it time and time again all season. I think a lot of people turned heads when they saw them take down, sweep Nebraska just 2 weeks ago. But man, this team is doing it all season long.
Good reminder for folks that this Wisconsin team is the only team in the United States that's beaten Nebraska this season. Huskers the #1 seed in the tournament. They had a nice win today over Georgia Tech and Lincoln. It's fun listening to Courtney Lyle, Holly McPeak, and Katie George. Smrek terminates.
When Wisconsin's firing on all cylinders, there is not a team in the country that matches up well with them. Defensively, they are a wall up there. Then offensively, they spread it out and they're so balanced.
They had a 12-0 run in the last set. They're working on a 9-0 run right now. Hannah trying to end it. Nope, 10 points in a row for the Badgers.
And again, with Gulje Gushkin back on that end line, such a tough server getting Penn State out of system.
I think you know what happened. Timeout, Penn State. (18-7) here in the 4th set, as these fans hoping to get this team across the finish line and to Tampa. Last year, they ended up losing here on this court to Pitt in the regional final, and this year they are determined to do one better.
That loss to Pitt really put a chip on the shoulder of so many of these Wisconsin players that returned from last season. They got upset on their home court with a chance to go to that Final Four. They were upset about it, and they trained all season long. They were in the gym the day after that game ended and said, hey, we want to get better. We want to get in the gym. We want a national championship next season, and that started the day after they lost to Pitt.
And managing the new additions of Carter Booth, for example, bringing her on board, realizing what they had with her, Timmy Thomas-Ilara. I don't think Kelly Sheffield gets enough credit for, you got to manage all this talent. And you basically took your libero, switched it out, took an outside hitter, made her a libero. He moved all sorts of pieces around for the greater good of this team.
It's so difficult when you bring in transfers to put up these kind of numbers night in and night out, but that says a lot about how Kelly Sheffield as a coach, and it says a lot about the leaders that are on this Wisconsin team. This is a veteran team that is so excited to be here and determined to make it even further.
So Wisconsin's won the last 10 points. They've had 3 blocks in this 10-point run. Pedraza setting Trammell, and Trammell, exactly what Penn State needed, a quick side out after that timeout.
Perfect answer out of that timeout, nailing the pass right away. It's so important for the serve receive to nail that so that Matt Pedraza has all options available. Trammell did her job putting it away.
Franklin. Point Wisconsin.
Penn State getting a little bit undisciplined on that block, coming down into the net. So important to come back down clean and away from it.
A reminder that Texas and Tennessee will start on ESPN News, and then they will join us on ESPN2 at the conclusion of this match. Texas, Tennessee starting on ESPN News. Point Penn State. If Wisconsin wins this set, we will be seeing Texas and Tennessee sooner rather than later. But Penn State still in it.
Penn State trying to find some momentum. This is one of their better rotations with Weatherington, Merzick, and Holland up front.
Reminder, Oregon and Purdue from Madison on ESPNU 30 minutes after this match. Smrek missed the attack. Grimes back to serve. Hamill backs it to Smrek, goes to her again. Orgel calls everyone off. Here's Franklin. Good dig by Grimes. Weatherington with the hammer.
Weatherington always comes up big in these big moments. Matt Pedraza knows that. When they need a kill, if they have to find some momentum, Weatherington's a good player for that.
Penn State on a 3-0 run right now. We know they don't give up. Franklin. And Carter Booth.
And if you're a defender and you see Carter Booth up there going up and over the block, you better hope that ball just goes right on you, because otherwise you don't have the reaction time to try to step in and make a play.
Well, Stark made a good effort, but Carter Booth has almost been perfect tonight attacking-wise. 9 kills off 11 swings, 1 error. It's served by Ashburn. There's Merzick. Merzick did get the touch, went off of Booth's fingers. Point Penn State.
Veteran swing from Jess Merzick up there, identifying the big block in front of her and swinging high right at the fingertips to rule it out of bounds.
Penn State's season on the brink. A must-win set, and they're down 8 deep in this fourth. Ashburn to Booth. Makes it look easy.
And Carter Booth so happy she made the move down to Wisconsin. These were the games that she wanted to play and excel in. She knew that if she came to Wisconsin, she had a real chance of winning a national championship.
Well, she's been a winner ever since she started playing volleyball. The Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Colorado in high school. All conference at Minnesota. Nice dump by Pedraza, but is still alive. Robinson. Thomas Ilara just hit that point, Penn State.
This is where Penn State needs to keep Jessica Mercic back on the service line as soon as possible. She needs to hit in bullets, and that front line has to do their job of either getting block touches or stuffs to slow it down.
Ashburn to Thomas Ilara. Nice take by Grimes. Orgel keeps it alive. Thomas Ilara again, this time wide on the attack. Penn State's hanging in there.
A good net play up front from Mac Pedraza, knowing where she is and having the bodily awareness to not come down on the net, but keep those hands pressed over.
Good serve by Mercic. Pedraza, plenty of time to set Hannah. Orgel chases it down. Robinson. Mercic. Robinson.
There wasn't too big of a hole for Devin Robinson to hit through, but man, she snuck it right through the seam in that block, splitting the block and splitting the defenders back there.
Robinson, the fourth Badger in double digits with 10 kills.
That shows you just how balanced this Wisconsin team is. It's not just one person carrying the load.
A short serve. Hannah hits into the block and tools it. Went right off of Crawford and Robinson. Nice swing.
Hannah, again, not afraid of the block in front of her. She's going to continue to take rip after rip until it doesn't work anymore.
This Penn State team came into this match on an 8-match win streak, knocking out a number 4 seed Kansas to get to this regional. Thomas Ilara was going for hands that nobody touched, so the point goes to Penn State. Could Penn State possibly come back here?
And all of a sudden, a string of errors on Wisconsin side cracks that door open for Penn State, and they want to bust right through it.
They have won 8 of the last 11 points. Ashburn to Crawford. Hannah blocked.
That was the play that Wisconsin needed to silence Penn State as soon as possible and start closing that door. Massive stuff up front and good move from Crawford. How far those hands are pressed over the net, man.
Wisconsin 2 points away from a regional final. Hamill to serve. Trammell. It is match point Wisconsin. Zoe Weatherington, a transfer from Utah, hoping Wisconsin doesn't win this next point. Orgel to Smrek. Mercic. And Mercic keeps Penn State alive.
Look for Penn State to continue to find Mercic even in the backcourt. She's their go-to attacker. And who better to put on the end line than Mac Pedraza, one of the 5th years on this team.
Weatherington, a 5th-year senior, could be one of those players whose career is about to come to an end. We've become such big fans of her, the way she conducts herself on the court. Pedraza serving another match point for the Badgers. Penn State staying alive.
Pedraza finding ways to knock Wisconsin out of system. That is exactly what she needs to do back there when her career in college is on the line.
Another match point for the Badgers. Hamill setting Smrek. She's blocked. Crawford over the block. Badgers of Wisconsin moving on to the regional final.